What's up, traders? This is Vee Trades, and today I'll be doing a technical analysis breakdown for PayPal holdings with the ticker symbol PYPL. Remember that if you want a chart analysis guaranteed to be done, please read the description below. Before we begin, please take a second to give the video a like and subscribe for more chart analysis. I appreciate all those who are already subscribed and like my videos. Just a reminder that this video is for entertainment purposes only, does not constitute any financial advice. I will first go over what I see on the daily chart and finish the video off with the weekly chart. So as you can see on the chart, PayPal is still trending lower. It's not getting any, it is finding support, but it's not reversing. And you can see that the EMA is acting as resistance and pointing down, and prices are making lower lows, lower highs. So where is PayPal going? So let's put some lines on this chart and analyze what's going on first. So you can see that there was this downtrend in play. First, let me back up a little bit. You can see there was a range pattern. You can see that prices are going up and down inside of this range. Let me show you guys right now. And then right when prices could not go higher than the previous high, that's when a lot of sellers started sliding their hands together. They were very excited about this. This looks very bearish. Prices sold off, and we have not been able to have a uptrend form since pretty much July of 2021. So you can see it's a massive sell-off. Prices broke outside of this range, and now we are trending lower. So where are we going? I'm gonna have to use a measured move because the market moves in twos, and these targets are pretty reliable. We don't have to meet it exactly. We can come up short a little bit, we can exceed it a little bit, but normally this gives a ballpark estimate of where price is going. And I've been saying this since pretty much PayPal sold off. You can go watch my other PayPal videos. Even back in this consolidation phase, I was still thinking we were going to go lower, and 145 is my target, and that's not the bottom. We could continue lower. We don't even have to reach it at all, but we're gonna have to see what PayPal wants to do if it can reach it. And I think there's a strong possibility for it to reach this level. You can see that PayPal is continuing lower, and I think they want to target the 145 level. So let's take a look at the more recent price action. So like I said before, it was in a downtrend, and then we had a break outside of the channel. So normally we go down to retest the previous extreme. So in this case, it is the lows, and that's why I wasn't that bullish, even though we had a break outside of the channel. Normally we still go back down to retest the previous low, and that's what PayPal did right here. So I'm surprised this wasn't a bigger bounce, because it did make a new low, but you can see that it was still caught up at the EMA, and it looks like prices were making slightly lower highs. So it looks like there's probably a channel in play that pushed prices lower. So now we had a break outside of this consolidation pattern that PayPal was in for pretty much several months, and it also made a measured move outside of it. So this is a smaller scale measured move, and you can see how this met it right here, and pretty much exactly that's where prices closed last Friday. So that's not random, and you can see that this bigger scale is the same thing. So these measured moves are all over the market, and you just got to pay attention to it on the macro and minor levels. So we hit the measure move, so we could get a bounce from here, and we could go back up to the lower side of this range and see what prices want to do, or we could continue pushing lower to the target. So we're not that far away from the target. 146 is not that far away from 163. That's only a 10% drop, so that's nothing. So there's a good chance PayPal might continue lower, because I don't think there's any reversal signs in the market currently. So PayPal is also going to sell off. It's not going to be isolated from the selling. So that's what I see for PayPal. I think we're going to go lower. It still looks like we're going to reach that target I have. And PayPal already stopped out all the longs over here. And you can see that the candle bar is pretty big right here. Last Friday, there was a lot of selling, a lot of stop losses being hit, and I think they want to reach that 145 level. You can see that there's also a gap right here back in May or April of 2020 that could be filled, and that's below my target. So PayPal could travel lower. And let me show you guys one last thing. So I'm going to show you guys the channel that I believe PayPal is respecting, because that's why we started finding resistance, and it did not want to get a bounce to the upper side of the range, or this consolidation. So if I just drag this like that, let's go and make this one yellow. I'm going to start removing some of my drawings I have on here so you can see the channel better. I'm going to make sure I press the right one. Give me a second here. So you can see that this channel is working pretty good. And I think they're going to target the lower side of the channel. So you can see that if I connect the swings, you can see that PayPal got rejected here. And then it went up and got rejected again. And then it bounced from the lower side of the consolidation pattern at the 179 level. And went up and found resistance again. So that leads me to believe that there's some type of slanted line pushing prices lower. And that makes sense because this is the channel resistance line. And over here we got a bounce, and that's the support side. So usually prices work from the support side to the resistance side in a downtrend. So where are we going now? We're at the resistance side. Probably going to go to the support side. And that's right at my 145, 146 target. So I think PayPal is going to continue to sell off. If I put a little micro channel on here working lower, you can see that PayPal is still inside of it. Something like that. That fits the prices pretty good. Let me just drag this lower. So it looks like PayPal could be just working inside of this channel until it reaches the lower price target. So that's all I have for PayPal on the daily chart. Like I said before, I think there's numerous bearish signs on the chart. I'm not really seeing any bullish signs. The bullish sign is that we had a breakout side of this green channel and a new low. So let me erase everything. So the bullish signs are that we had a breakout side of this downtrend channel, which shows signs of weakness. And then that's true. There's some signs of weakness because we're not moving as harsh as we did before. You can see that it went sideways for a while. And we also made a new low. So we could see a reversal soon, but we don't know exactly how soon. We could continue lower to reach my target first and then reverse. But this looks good for the longs just because it is showing signs of weakness. And there was also a breakout side of this consolidation pattern. And normally prices going back up to retest it and find resistance, which it did back here, but that's just one test, so we could get a second test. But I think there's just too many bearish signs on the chart. Like I said, this is channel working lower, so prices are weaker and it might not need to come back higher. It might just continue lower. We still haven't hit the measured move, and just the bearish sentiment across all the markets. I think this is the time for PayPal to continue selling off if it were to sell off. So that's all I have for the daily chart. Let's go and wrap this up on the weekly chart. Looking at the revenue and net income, it's been pretty much a money-making company since 2016 on here. And you can see the revenue and net incomes are increasing. And that's very good. It's a growing company. And the market cap's only 192 billion and their revenue is 21 billion. So if this gets halved, if the market capitalization gets halved, then that's a really nice ratio. That's like what it was back here in that sell-off in April or May of 2020, and that's what led to that massive rally. So that's when PayPal was really like worth it. And then it went up, but then now it's pulling back. You can see that on here. You can see a big double top pattern. That's just reversal pattern, and that tells people to get out of their positions, take profits, at least some profits, and then we'll get prices sold off. So we are getting super far away from the EMA. We haven't retraced to it in a while. It's been several months, so it's a lot of selling, but then again, we don't have to come back to it. You can see before over here, prices were far away from it for a while. It's just a really strong move. PayPal is selling off pretty hard, so there's a possibility we could reach that 145 target within the next week or two. And from there, like I said before, if we come up short, then we're probably going to reverse, because if we come up short of a measure move, it shows signs of weakness for the bears, and we might just rally back up. But if we overshoot it, then that means the trend is stronger, and we could continue much lower. I think a target for PayPal is the 121 level is not out of the range of the areas that it could reach, because this is the previous breakout level, and it looks like prices has not come back to find he didn't come back to test it like this before continuing higher. It just shot up. So this looks like an area where PayPal wants to retrace and find some type of support. So I wouldn't be surprised if PayPal goes over here. Just keep that in your mind. The 122 target is not out of the vicinity for PayPal to reach. I think that there's a possibility for it to reach it. In this case, I'm leaning more towards my 145 target. But if we continue lower, then that 120 target is very close. So that's all I have for PayPal. I think we're going to continue lower. Thank you for stopping by and checking out my video. Make sure to check out the rest of the channel, since you might be surprised at what you can learn. Leave a comment down below on where you think prices are headed. Also share the video if you want your friends to learn about the markets. Lastly, I appreciate any feedback to help improve the channel, since I want to deliver great content to you guys. See you next time, and bye.